I'm 77 years old. My wife died 10 years ago. We were married for 43 years. Last Tuesday, I found a box of letters in the garage. Old envelopes, yellowed paper. They were from her to someone else. A man I never knew existed. I've spent the last week reading them over and over, and what breaks me isn't what you think. Her name was Margaret. We met when I was 26. I was finishing my MBA, working part-time at an accounting firm. She was a teacher. Elementary school, second grade. We married in 1977, bought a small house in the suburbs 3 years later, had 2 kids, Michael in 1980, Sarah in 1983. I worked a lot, built a career in finance, made partner at 40, good salary, bonuses. We upgraded the house twice, put both kids through college without loans. Margaret stayed home until Sarah started high school, then went back to teaching. She loved it. Came home with stories about her students. I'd listen, sort of, while reading the paper, while thinking about work. We had what everyone said was a good marriage. Stable, respectable. We didn't fight much. Went on vacations, Hawaii twice, Europe once. Celebrated anniversaries. From the outside we looked fine. I thought we were fine. I was cleaning out the garage, finally getting rid of things I should have thrown away years ago. Old tax documents, broken tools, boxes I hadn't opened since we moved here in '98. One box was taped shut, heavy. I almost threw it out without looking, but I opened it. Inside were letters, dozens of them. Handwritten, in Margaret's handwriting. But they weren't addressed to me. They were dated from 1983 to 1991. 8 years. The man's name was Thomas. He was a music teacher at her school. They started as friends. The early letters are cautious, friendly. Then they change. She loved him, not loved, loves. Present tense in those letters. Even though they're 40 years old. She writes about meeting him after school, coffee, walks in the park. She writes about how he listens to her, really listens, how he asks her questions about her life, her thoughts, her dreams. She writes about me too. Richard provides everything, she says in one letter. A good home, security, he's a good father, but Thomas sees me. I sat in the garage for 3 hours that night, reading, rereading. There's no evidence they slept together. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Honestly, that's not what hurts. What hurts is this. For 8 years, my wife was in love with someone else. And I never noticed, not once. I never asked if she was happy. I assumed she was. We had everything, didn't we? Nice house, good kids, money in the bank. What else was there? I worked 60-hour weeks, traveled for business, came home tired, ate dinner, watched TV, went to bed. On weekends I played golf, saw friends, worked on the yard. Margaret was there, always there, making dinner, doing laundry, asking how my day was. And I'd answer, fine, busy, tired. I don't remember the last time I asked her how her day was, really asked, and waited for the answer. The letters stop in 1991. There's one final letter. She tells Thomas she can't do this anymore, that she has to try to make her marriage work, that she owes it to her children. I love you, she writes. I will always love you, but I made a choice 40 years ago, and I have to live with it. She chose me. Not because she loved me more, because she felt she had to. I've been thinking about our marriage differently now. The small things I ignored, the signs I missed. There was a year 87, maybe 88, when Margaret started going to art classes on Thursday nights. She'd come home late, sometimes 10 or 11. Said she lost track of time. She seemed lighter those nights, happier. I was glad, thought it was good she had a hobby. It never occurred to me to ask what she was painting, or to ask if I could see her work. She stopped going after a few years. I never asked why. There were times she'd start to tell me something about a book she read, or something one of her students said, and I'd interrupt. "Hold on, Marg, game's starting." Or, "Can we talk about this later? I need to make a call." Later never came. She stopped trying to tell me things. We'd sit at dinner, she'd eat quietly, I'd read the paper, our kids noticed. Sarah told me once, years later, that she never saw us hold hands, never saw us laugh together. She said we seemed polite, like roommates. I told her she was being dramatic. We were fine. But she wasn't wrong. Margaret got sick in 2012. Breast cancer. It came back in 2014. By 2015, we knew she wasn't going to make it. I took time off work. For the first time in 30 years, I was home. Every day, I sat with her, held her hand, and you know what? We talked, really talked, about the kids, about memories, about things we'd always meant to do. She never mentioned Thomas, never mentioned the letters. But there was one moment, about a week before she died. She was in bed, tired, morphine making her drift. She looked at me and said, "Richard, I wish we'd had more time." I thought she meant more time before the cancer. Now I think she meant more time when it mattered, when she was still trying, when I could have chosen to see her. I gave Margaret everything I thought mattered: a house, financial security, stability. But I didn't give her me. I was there, physically, every night, every holiday, every anniversary. But I wasn't present. I didn't ask questions. I didn't listen. I didn't see her. I thought providing was loving. I thought working hard was enough. I thought as long as I wasn't yelling, wasn't cheating, wasn't drinking, I was a good husband. I wasn't. Being a good husband isn't about what you don't do. It's about what you do. And I didn't do much. I didn't ask about her day. I didn't care about her art classes. I didn't notice when she stopped talking. I didn't wonder if she was happy. I assumed. An assumption is just neglect with good intentions. For 43 years, Margaret lived next to me, not with me. And I let it happen because I was busy, because I was tired, because I thought we had time. We didn't. So let me ask you something. The person you live with, the person you love or think you love, when's the last time you really looked at them, really listened? Not while scrolling your phone, not while the TV's on, not while thinking about tomorrow's meeting. When's the last time you asked them what they're afraid of, what they dream about, what makes them feel alive? And when they answered, did you actually hear them? Or did you just wait for your turn to talk? I'm 77 years old. I have maybe 10 years left, maybe 5, maybe 1. And I live with this now, the knowledge that the woman I spent my life with loved someone else. Because I didn't love her enough, not in the way she needed. I'm not angry at her. I'm not even angry at Thomas. I'm angry at myself for being so blind, for thinking time was infinite, for believing that providing was the same as caring. I can't change it now. Margaret's gone. Thomas probably is too. All I can do is sit here, in this house we bought together, surrounded by things we accumulated, and understand too late that none of it mattered. What mattered was sitting next to her on the couch, holding her hand, asking her about her day, listening when she answered. That's all she wanted, and I couldn't even give her that. So if you're watching this, if you have someone in your life you care about, stop waiting, stop assuming, stop thinking you'll have time later. You won't, you'll have now. That's it. Don't waste it like I did.